Hello, I'm Marc Nolan. I'm the Managing Director of Civica Libraries and Education here in the UK. I do know a few of you. Hopefully you remember me as well. And I'm really pleased to be able to join you by video, if not in person, which obviously I would much prefer. Very fond memories of Singapore and look forward to being able to return very soon, as soon as travel's allowed. I wanted to talk to you now about some trends that we're seeing in the UK and Ireland and Europe in libraries, to talk to you about BibFrame, talk to you about some of the strategic initiatives here and where libraries are looking, and particularly talk to you about how we're being successful in and why we're being successful and what is really being embraced here in UK libraries. In terms of BibFrame, we've been engaging a lot with our library partners, with our bibliographic data partners, and we're being told the same thing by everybody, which is we're waiting and seeing, we're watching. We want to see what the Library of Congress final specifications are. We're waiting to see how that means that we invest in those initiatives. There's been a lot of discussions between library vendors about what they're offering. And I think a lot of people are going, well, that's fine. Let's just see what's happening rather than what you're telling us that's what's happening. Where the experience we're having, and particularly with the bibliographic data partners, is that people are buying Marc records. People are seeking Marc records. They're not really spending a lot of time asking them about where are you with BibFrame, what are you doing about BibFrame, and so forth. There's much less serious inquiries at that level than they expected and we expected. The British Library is still buying and seeking Marc records, and so there's not a lot of urgency around pushing towards BibFrame. Certainly watching, no doubt about that. We're working, apart from what our colleagues in Australia and Singapore are doing in a technology sense, which we reap the benefits of, and we're certainly pursuing and following that. But in the meantime, what we're also doing, apart from their methodical piece by piece moving towards it, is we're using schema.org metadata, a lot of search engine optimization, a lot of enhanced discoverability, and these are areas where we can start to deliver real outcomes and achievements for our library partners. In terms of the trends of libraries, what we're seeing is that the strategic initiatives are still very much around the library's role in the community and how it's engaging and embracing the community and becoming even more a focus for community, as it's always been, but even more so. So areas around individual personal development, education, learning, the library becoming the local centre of knowledge, the local university, the neighbourhood area for learning and self-development, even more than in the past. We're seeing much more around fun, the discussion of Fun Palace, those activities, cultural collections and embracing community. One of our major initiatives that, as I said, we'd like to announce soon is how do they be a national entity and a national library and a national view of themselves, but allow the local communities to have their own identity. So how do they embrace community and local identity at the same time? And they've seen Spidus as a real means by doing that through the archive, Spidus events, the Spidus library itself, the web OPAC and all of those things. So we're thrilled in terms of the way they're seeing that with us. But I think the important thing is how does the library really and truly provide those services? COVID has meant there's been a lot of thought. Some of the libraries have furloughed staff here. All the libraries have shut. They're now reopening. So the virtual library and the online library has been all that everyone has had. We've worked very closely with our partners about how we can assist them in that. We've worked very closely with our partners around extra services we can provide the community, what we could do around the administration of the library solution and the library service in Spidus, because their staff may be furloughed, and so can they rely on us to do that? So there's been much more of that sort of engagement and interaction. But as as the libraries have opened, what they've seen is this real desire for personal connection. And so whether it's through coming to the library and workspaces within the library for those that are operating in the gig economy, health and well-being activities and health programs within the library, community programs within the library, those cultural activities, all of those things. And the librarians very much been seen as curators for the community, but not just in terms of the book collection, in terms of what it means to be part of that national culture and part of that local identity. And so how has the librarian then worked much more closer on a personal level with recommendations to people, referencing for them, doing all sorts of these personal activities, the creation of events and engagement with local artists and makers and businesses and so forth. These are the things that are becoming much more important here across the UK and Ireland. We see it very much reflected in their strategic documents. We're seeing it very much in the way they're actually running the libraries, and we're seeing very much the way they're using self-service to free up librarians, not to replace them. We're seeing self-service as a means saying, well, here's an option for you. But we're now going back to providing that personal level of service and that personal connection. We don't know whether this is just a temporary thing in response to the isolation and alienation of COVID. But generally the library managers are saying they think this is just part of a natural progression, that COVID has just amplified, that it's made people really want to be part of that community and connect with people, and the libraries are the ones that can do that. So if there's one or two messages that I would like to leave with you is our success has been because we've embraced with our library partners around library patrons, around the community and around where libraries are meant to be and where they want to see libraries continue to grow and expand as they always have.